somebody in the media asked Dan Campbell about the Ravens game. Now, you guys remember it. Justin Tucker hit a 160-yard field goal that bounced off the crossbar and went through to beat the Lions. And Lions fans everywhere, me included, I remember saying these exact words as it happened. Now, I had been conditioned, so it didn't I didn't get upset. There's no video of me kicking my television or anything like that. Because you guys know, because you've been through it too. And I've described this before. Me with the Lions, it was like a probation term. 1 to 4 on Sunday, I got to go serve my time, and I look forward to it being over, and then I can go about my day. But I show up. I put the ankle bracelet on, and I sit there from 1 to 4, and I watch it, and it's over. So when that move happened, when that field goal bounced off the crossbar, I had built up this scabbing, this callus, to where I could just turn around and go to the grocery store. It was part of my Sunday. But somebody asked Dan Campbell about that, and he had this to say.
Look, we're still early in this season. There's a ton of game left. We got to go earn another one here. But I know this is that when you look back and, I just remember thinking over and over, it's like, enjoy it now, just enjoy it now. And because our time will come, and we just got to get through the hard stuff. And, and here we go, man. We got an opportunity. We're in year 3 of this program. We're 5-1, and we got to go earn the next win. So, everything that happens for a reason, and it helps you grow. And if it doesn't, it's because you don't know how to grow. So we've taken our lumps, and we're going to be better for it.
And Dan Campbell, basically he sums it up. He said we learn from it. Now, D-Mac, before we went to the break, I said now that we've arrived, now that they have the NFC North wrapped up, because in my mind they do, you're barring catastrophic whatever. With that being said, D-Mac, now we get to point at other franchises. As Coquet said, get a job, you bum. Hey, Carolina Panthers, get a job. Chicago Bears, get a job, you bums. Now we get to say that. So, D-Mac, I think now, he's talked about it, they've grown since it. What's your favorite way the Lions lost a game back when they were a bad team?
Well, the one that I knew that it was like sort of SOL still was the Calvin catch. Calvin in Chicago in the end zone, complete the process down to the ground, touchdown, and when they overturn that or whatever like that, because of the execution on it, right? So that one sits in my crawl. The one with here's the one thing where you look at blessings in disguise. The Justin Tucker field goal is a blessing in disguise, right? I used the analogy before. If you play poker, right, and you've been 1 outed or 2 outed, what does that mean? Say I got a pair of kings and Neil's got a pair of queens, right? There's only 2 more queens. There's 4 queens in a deck. There's only 2 more queens that he can get to beat me, for lack of better terms.
Out of 40
and he hits
cards, yeah.
Out of the rest of the cards in the deck, and he hits one of his queens. That's called a 2-outer, right? Which happens in poker. It happens in football. You don't expect a team to set a record field goal, but it is Justin Tucker, who we all agree is one of the greatest kickers of all time in this game, so why not? It just seemed if everything had it coming. The biggest thing is, where do you put that? And as disappointed as it was, they let it fuel them instead of let it get to them, because you look at their record since then and what they've done because of it. What I see is they don't take anything for granted. And so to me, the biggest disappointment was the ruling on the Calvin catch in Chicago to the ground. Like, that one just, come on. that was my come on moment. So this one, here's the kicker, if everybody remembers, on this kick is the fact that it had to hit the crossbar
to go
and kick
over.
in the right. It can go either way.
Yeah.
Right, where we see that and it goes in. But I think that again, it was a blessing in disguise that it can't get any worse, but we can't take anything for granted.
What about you, Spenmo? What was your favorite one?
The Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary is always one that stands out, especially coming off the Phantom face mask call.
Yeah.
But in line with the, complete the process of the catch, something that nobody had ever heard about in the
and
NFL
still have never
before
got
that,
resolution
and
on.
still don't know. Another one, the Golden Tate 10-second runoff. versus Atlanta at home, which is another thing that like nobody had heard of until it happened against the Lions, where and the worst part is it was the fucking officials' fault. Like, they called it a touchdown, and then they reviewed it and said it wasn't a touchdown. They're like, 10-second runoff, sorry, game's over. So, what? What are you talking about? What do you mean? We should have it at the 1-yard line. But no, that one sucks.
That one broke my son. That was my son's first introduction to being a Lions fan. That made him tear up. That one did. I said, hey, kid, get used to it. BMG. What was your favorite way they lost a game?
Mine was the Aaron Rodgers one, and I was actually at that game. I was given tickets for my birthday the week before, and then that happened.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Shane Daniel says, mine was choosing to take the wind in overtime. A game in Chicago.
Oh, Jesus.
I didn't hate that one. Like,
It's just so stupid.
There's so many.
I know, but if it works, it's legendary.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying?
It's just so stupid.
Yeah. And of course, Lou Way MF says the Dallas playoff game where they picked up the flag. They called the penalty. Mm-hmm. And then they picked up the flag. That one was the worst. That was a playoff game.
The most egregious.
That one was. That was where I felt most powerless.
You want to hear something terrible? That he could be the only person that this happened to, like, in the world. There's probably a couple more, but my boy Mustache, the same year, he was at the Trouble with the Snap game. We were there. He's a Michigan fan. We were at the Trouble with the Snap game. He was at the Rodgers Hail Mary. I think it was Thanksgiving or right around there.
Keep this man out of the city.
Put your boy in a box, bro.
He was in Seattle for the game. The KJ Wright bat the ball out of the end zone. All 3 games he was at.
Hey, you know what?
Keep him away.
Guess who's not allowed at the viewing party? Don't let him know we do a stream.
That's fair.
All right.
That's my guy, though.
Yeah, shout out to Mustache.
Shout out Mustache.
Michael Daniels got an old one. Eddie Murray's missed field goal against San Francisco. I think that's an 82 playoffs. You got the coach Monty Clark's praying over there, and the field goal just takes a boomerang swing to the left. Like, it was.
What about the Sterling Sharp one?
The Sterling Sharp one was grim. You know what? Here's my favorite one, though. And obviously I wasn't alive to see it, but it's so on brand. The year that I think it was 72-73, they lost to the Cowboys in the playoffs 5-0.
Yeah.
Who loses a game 5-0? Let alone a playoff game. 5-0.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
And then the one that you want to know, one that made me angry, not to the pass interference one. The year they played the Titans on Thanksgiving, and they were awful. You know, the Lions were awful then. But that we were in like the height of the housing recession and all that stuff. We were going through it, man. You remember those times. And it's a Thanksgiving Day game, and the Titans. And remember Lendale White? Who was their other running back they had? It was Lendale White and was it Chris Johnson?
Yeah. Oh yeah. CJ2K.
CJ2K.
He was good in Madden.
Mm-hmm.
They both ran for 100 yards in like the first half. They got absolutely obliterated. And like the pregame show was about, hey, Detroit's going through it right now, man, with like the housing, when everybody lost all their equity and everything like that. And they went out there and they played like that, lost like 44-3 or whatever that number was. I was legit pissed. I was doing college radio that next day. And that was the first time ever where I was fired up, like uncontrolled. Like you've seen me lose it before.
Yeah.
I lost it that day, dude. I was so pissed at that effort, man. So pissed.
What about the college football live stream?
What about it?
Or pregame? College football pregame.
Oh, you want to do the pregame on me,
Yeah,
huh?
we'll do the pregame.
All right, let's do the pregame then. It's time for the Great Divide. It's that game that splits the state of Michigan in half. Go green, go blue. Does Harbaugh notch another win, or is MSU coming after Big Blue? It's the Woodward Sports for the Love of College Football pregame show. Spencer Raxter, Sam Flannel, Easy, and many more will get you pumped up for the Great Divide game this Saturday, 6 o'clock, right here, Woodward Sports Network. I'm going to watch. So here's the deal. I'm going to be working. Like I'll be doing television for Detroit City FC. I will be turning that on in the background because I have Spencer Raxter plus 160 to crack.
Okay. That's fair.
To crack.
Plus 160.
You can only take so much.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna crack during the live stream though, not the pregame.
He won't crack the pregame. He'll crack during the live stream because once he gets to that level of once that one cocktail hits him where he's like he knows, okay, this one and then I can't control whatever else because he's gonna get to that point. I'm gonna see. I won't be here. I'll be doing the Eloise Asylum, which is a whole other story this weekend. But I can just picture you, Spenny, in the kitchen, sitting around. You got your shooter, you got your drink. You're going to take it, then you're going to come in, and you're going to sit here, and it's going to go probably middle of the second quarter.
You think so?
Well, just because Michigan doesn't get off to a great start.
Well, but the Michigan fans, right? Because they'll start chirping it once.
How
Once
can they
shake
chirp any
off
harder
that start.
than what they do right now? I'm just saying that once Spenny lets the inhibitions go, right, and lets the alcohol.
It's a chemical thing
It's
as
a
much as
chemical
it is
where
anything
he's
else.
going to have control, and but this is the self-awareness that he knows. When he's ready to go into battle, he's going to put on his gear, go to war.
Yep.
You'll know it.
Nick Hedigan had a good one. The 2000 Chicago Bears game, that loss sank the Lions for 2 decades. The Edinger field goal when they were going to go to the playoffs, and Herman Moore was all alone in the end zone and couldn't see the ball because of the lights. And
somebody mentioned the Matt Flynn 6 tutty game.
That one was more comical, though.
Didn't it have repercussions for us?
No, it had positive repercussions for Matt Flynn. He got $45 million off that one game.
That's true.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Thomas Perry says, I will not be tuning in for that slaughter. Well, tune into the pregame show. That'll be fun. Marvin Barr, I love that we're having conversation about how bad upsetting the Lions left us on Sunday afternoons. It's great to see what we have on the field today compared to what we've dealt with. And look, that was the point. That was the point of it, Marvin. Like, that's since we've left that, since we poke fun at other franchises now.
It can't get any worse. Like, we've been through all the worst of the worst. Now it's about enjoying it and knowing that, no matter what, maybe that's just part of, realizing when you have a good football team, all the stuff that we've come through. You got to know where you came from.
Yeah.
And we've come through all of this and persevered, and we're still here to now. And what I loved is Dan Campbell addressing that elephant, saying, now we can laugh about it because they've used it as a catalyst to pull themselves out.